Good morning, class. I'm here to launch officially your further oral activity on the second part of the Lang and Lit course, which is called Language and Mass Communication. All Year 13 IB students at standard level and higher level must complete a second further oral activity, which summarizes their learning from part 2 of the course, Language and Mass Communication. This will be happening next term after the October break. What is an FOA? Some of you may have forgotten that since last year. An FOA is an oral presentation that is similar to presenting a paper 1 analysis of any text that you choose that is representative of mass communication. You choose the text. You choose the thesis or argument and the stylistic features of the text that you analyze, and you make sure that it refers back to the learning outcomes of part 2 of the course. What are the learning outcomes from part 2 of the course? From the IB subject guide, we know that the learning outcomes are different forms of communication in the media, awareness of bias, whether that's educational, political, or ideological influence, how the media uses language to inform, persuade, or entertain, and key media concepts such as bias, stereotypes, popular culture, language of campaigns, language of public service, and the conventions of media institutions. Your job is to select a text that lets you talk about these big concepts, and from that text, analyze it really carefully like you would if you were doing a paper 1 analysis, except without having the exam pressures. You have the advantage of being able to prepare it at home and present it to the class in seminar form. What is the timeline? We are under time pressure for the FOA. So our timeline is that this week we need to be selecting texts and following checkpoint 1, which is that we have shown our teacher and gotten permission to analyze a specific text. Over the holiday next week, you will be reading and noting on your text and finding stylistic features. When we get back, we will spend some time with Miss Christine and Mr. Eric unpacking text types and continuing to take notes for checkpoint 2 and 3. Week 2 after the break, between October 27 and October 31, is checkpoint 4. That's where your teacher will give you some feedback on a rough planning outline, and that feedback will be the only chance you get to get specific feedback on what you're going to say, and that's the same week that we begin presentations. It also means that in the week of November 3 to November 7, which is week 3 after the break, we must finish all of the presentations so that we can get on with the other parts of the course. That will be an issue if you get sick, if you go away, if you are unprepared and don't have your PowerPoint slideshow presented and ready to go. So at standard level, some students will need to leave Miss Christine's class and join Mr. Eric in the HL class. And I'll talk a bit more about that later on. What are your checkpoints? By the end of this week, you will have followed checkpoint 1. Have you selected a topic? Yes or no? Your teacher will note that down so you don't change it. Checkpoint 2 will happen over the break. At the start of the first week back, you will have devised a thesis statement and annotated your text. Checkpoint 3 is the one where your teacher will give feedback. Do you have a plan or an outline of your talk? That is where you get teacher feedback. And checkpoint 4 is just before the presentations. You must have a visual presentation tool, such as PowerPoint slides, a video, some props, question and answer, candy to give out, and that'll be what you use at the last checkpoint, and that must be delivered to your teacher before you deliver your presentation. Grading criteria is very similar to the paper 1. You're graded on your knowledge and understanding of the text and subject matter, your understanding of how language is used, your organization of your talk, and the language that you use. What you should be trying to do in your FOA is to be creative and have fun. You should try to adopt the conventions of a specific oral text type. That could be a press briefing, a video news broadcast, or it could be a student support seminar where you're teaching Lang and Lit students about the key parts of the course. All of these grading criteria will be given to you directly on KICS Learns and on Manage Back, so you can refer to them in more detail. Thanks for watching, and make sure you follow my channel. Good luck with your FOAs, everyone. It's going to be great.